Hey, you guys, it's Denise Walsh here. Welcome to Dream Life Live, where every single Monday I connect with you live, interact with you and your questions and your comments, and talk about how to build a coaching business, because that's why you are here. You are here because you have had the wrestling, if that's the word, the wrestling within your heart to take a step outside of what you're currently doing and add value to the world in a new way. But maybe you're just like me and don't really know how to do that. And so now that I've figured out a path of how to create a lucrative coaching program and generate leads consistently, I have put together a year-long certification and business program where I can teach you exactly what I know. So before we hop in today's topic, if you're listening on Facebook, please press this streamyard.com/Facebook because that allows Facebook to, or for you guys to, for me to see your name. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user. But I want to hear where you're from, what you currently do, how long you have wanted to start a coaching business, and then maybe what has gotten in your way throughout your journey. I work with clients each and every day who are maybe in the nursing profession or paramedics, first line responders, teachers, daycare workers. Some are lawyers, some are stay-at-home moms, some are really just at a place where they're ready for their next step and they want to teach the person who's 3 steps behind them. But they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to get there. And so today I'm going to share with you the 3 main steps to take in 2024 so that you start and scale your coaching business and finally step into the business of your dreams. Who is ready for that? Now, I'm going to talk to coaches, right? To new aspiring coaches, growing coaches, but these 3 skills and steps truly can be utilized with any specific goal. And I think that's one of the things we want to remember is that when we start the new year with momentum and excitement, or we are, resetting, or maybe we've got a little bit of that restlessness, the first thing we want to do is to decide a specific goal. So post in the comments below. Do you have a goal for this first year? Do you have something you're working towards? Do you have a vision of yourself 3 steps from now? Or are you maybe in this place where you just go, I just know I don't like it here. And that's okay too. Be totally honest with yourself. I'd love to see in the comments where you're at. So let me go ahead. I'm going to check the Facebook group too, just to make sure that all is good. I see you. Say thank you. Leisha's here. Makisha's here. Awesome. All right, perfect. So let's talk. Leisha, working towards building your nonprofit. Yes, you certainly are. And what you'll find, okay, we'll get to the end. I've got something for the end. All right, let me start with the 3 steps to take this year, and then I'll save that little pin, that boost for the end. The first thing is to think about your big goal. And I feel like this can be overstated because sometimes people live here and that's not really where I want you to live necessarily. But I do want you to see yourself 3 steps ahead of where you are now and start to imagine it, right? As we go through this process, we are going to imagine ourselves where we want to be, because with the world of quantum physics, right, we know that we get what we think about. And so if we have a strong vision of where we want to be, we start to imagine it, which impacts us on a cellular emotional level and calls it in to our world. And so a big vision for Leisha might be creating a nonprofit and having 2 to 3 school contracts by the end of the year. Yes. For a big vision for Chrissy could be creating a coaching and consulting business. Yes. And we'll want to get a bit more specific on what that really means, right? So a big vision, is it 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month? Is it, I have a girl who made 6 figures this year as her side hustle, still working her full-time job. And so what is it that you really want? What's that big vision? And as you're starting to imagine that big vision, the reason why this is so stinking fun is because it connects your head to your heart. The goal is that not you just say like, oh, I want $1 million, but like you start really imagining it and seeing yourself there, because that kickstarts your emotions. And so part of it is imagining yourself working with people who are getting amazing benefits. It's imagining, Alicia wants to work with education, right? So it's imagining working with teachers who are then ripple affecting and impacting the students. Chrissy also works in education. And so we'll have to decide, are you working with kids? Are you working with teachers? Are you working with parents? Who are you working with, right? And what are you teaching them? And so what is it that you really do and experience and feel on a consistent daily basis when you're building your dream coaching business? I know that, like, for me, my dream coaching business is being able to love the work that I do and provide value to my clients, which I stinking love. Like, if you guys are in our programs, we get off the calls like on this high because it's so much fun. It's great, deep conversation. Aha moments are happening all the time. People are doing things that they might not normally do. And I get to pick up my kids from school, right? And I get to take them to soccer. And I don't have to ask for a boss when we have a random snow day, right? So it's like, what are those things that you really want in your dream business? So Chrissy says, working with other professionals to be their best selves to serve others. Awesome. Yes. Yes, that's exactly it. All right. So you're working with teachers, you're working with counselors, you're being the leader to the leaders, which is what I love as well. Really adding value to the people who are also already adding value, right? Because leaders need to be led, coaches need to be coached. We all need to have people pouring into us. So step one is to think big, dream big, visualize, and visualize it so strongly that you start to feel it and emote it on an emotional level. The second thing is to take that big dream and start to chunk it down into small bits, meaning prioritize. This is where people get stuck. Let me know if you've gotten stuck here, where it's like, woohoo, I'm off to change the world, and now I have no idea what to do. I'm going to go to bed. And it can feel so overwhelming. And so we want to take that big goal and chunk it down into mini projects, prioritize, and focus on one at a time. Now, Chrissy, I know that this is you, because you're like, there's so many things I want to do. I don't even know where to start. Do I write my book? Do I create my program? Do I start coaching? What do I do? And the reality is there's no real right way, because you're going to end up doing them all. So which one feels like it would either, number one, move the needle the most in your business, or number two, be low hanging fruit, like that feels easy and fun? So, and I'll just speak to you guys because you're here in the chat and I know your stories. If your priority is to write a book, the book is going to help you with marketing. It's going to help you flesh out your story and your process, because the book leads to the program. A book ends up being a marketing tool to your program. For me, writing the book helped me figure out my program, because it forced me, right, to linearize the process that was all jumbled up in my head and heart. However, I needed something to lead them to. And I actually didn't create my program until a few years later. And so now that I have a program, it's like all roads lead to 90-day U-turn. All roads lead to the Dream Life Certification and Business Program, right? And the marketing tool supports that. So you'll do both. The question is what feels a little bit easier? Like, okay, I can get this done in a quarter. Or which one feels like they'll move the needle the most in your business? And the answer could be either. Like, do pros and cons for both. I know if your goal is to make money immediately, then start coaching immediately, and then figure out your program as you're coaching, and then your book will lead to that. If your goal is to, if you don't necessarily want to make money immediately, then write your book, and that ends up being a marketing tool for you. I wrote my book in like 2018, 2019, I think, and it's still one of my lead magnets to get people into my world. So the goal here is to prioritize. You want to start doing the dang thing and start making moves in your business. One of the things we focus on within the certification program is to create a program that people, number one, will pay for, because it delivers transformational results and will make you money. So if your goal is $10,000 a month, that means you need 20 people paying you $500 a month. Or you need a school district paying you $10,000. Or, maybe their contract is for 6 months. So it's 2 months, 5 months. So it's like 2,000 a month. And then you need people on top of that. The higher ticket programs, obviously you need less people, but you want to make sure it delivers either way. So as you're getting started, one of the biggest benefits is to start doing the dang thing, generating testimonies, pivoting and learning and creating a program that you would charge $10,000 for, that you could charge, $1,500 for, $500 a month for 3 months, or come up with a program where you're doing individual and teaching and all of these things. But you've got a package now that people can buy that says, yeah, that sounds great. $3,000 it is, because they want the result your program offers. Yes. And I think the thing that we often think about, I had this question yesterday within the group, was, how do I build community if I'm new? And I think one thing we want to remember is that the community is a huge blessing. And obviously those in the community know how great of a community is, and it's so much fun. But you're here for the result. And so when you're marketing and talking to people about your coaching program, like, people don't quite care. They don't. I mean, maybe you do. You'll have to let me know that I have my master's in clinical psychology and 20 years of business experience. Like, they may care. What they want to know is, can I teach it and are people getting results, right? Like, are people starting their coaching businesses? Have they written their books? Have they gotten speaking gigs? Have people actually done the thing that you want to do coming out of this program? And if the answer is yes, that sometimes means more than my credentials, right? So when you think about your own program and talking to your own people, what is the result that they're going to get? That's what you're talking about. You can be a teacher, and like, what if you love your life again as a teacher? You got into teaching for a reason, right? These are marketing tools for you and Chrissy and Leisha who are here. What if you fell back in love with teaching? What if you knew exactly what to do with your troublesome students? What if you felt supported in all ways because of the coaching and consulting and community that's around that program? What are the benefits to the person who would say yes? And that's really what you focus on, and then ensure that your program gives them that. So we're going to dream big, right? We want to visualize. We want to imagine ourselves 3 steps ahead. We want to see ourselves there. And then we break it down into chunks and prioritize. So Chrissy says, this makes so much sense. Coaching seems like a natural. That seems a bit easier. It's a little bit like low-hanging fruit. Yes, start working with people. And as you're working with people, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to build your confidence. You're going to have testimonies. You're going to know that this program works, which means you're then ready to shout it from the rooftop. And then 3, this is 3. And this 3 has bullet points. So it could be more than 3, but this is number 3. Number 3 is accountability. And so you guys showing up on this live call, accountability. You guys showing up in 90-day U-turn, accountability. You guys showing up on our Monday coaching corner calls, accountability. But it's more than just accountability. It's actually learning what action to take that's going to take you in the direction you desire, right? How many of you are like this? Yeah, tell me what to do. I'm very good at doing, but I don't know what to do because I've never done this before. And that's what the certification and business program is designed to do. It's designed to give you that next step when you're ready for it. And so some people are really focused in on learning the content and transforming themselves, which is going to build confidence in the content. Step 1, right? Learn the content, emote the content, become the content, love the content, because then you're going to want to shout it from the rooftop and tell everyone and their brother that they need to utilize this, because they do, right? And then step 2, learn to work with people, learn to ask probing questions, learn to do reflection, learn to do motivational interviewing, learn to be able to pick up where they're at and bring them one step closer. Those coaching skills that help you create an atmosphere of growth, step 2. And then step 3 is growing your thriving business. And I can tell you a few of the skills that we teach within the certification and business program alongside marketing and sales is becoming a professional asker. And I think this I chose because it starts with A, and accountability. Accountability, action, and ask. Become a professional asker. Do you want my program? Do you want my program? Do you need transformation? Do you want to overcome self-sabotage? Do you need to retrain your nervous system? Do you want to get out of burnout? Do you want to your teachers to get out of burnout? Do you want the culture and morale of your staff to be a 10? What would that look like? Like, are you supposed to be, am I supposed to be your coach? You're asking. You become a professional asker. And in my opinion, the best way and the only way to become a professional asker is if you love what you're doing and you know that it works, which is why head, heart, feet. Do you know what you want? Do you believe it's possible? Do you know how to go get it? If you don't think your program is awesome, you will have a tricky time doing any of this. But if you know that your program is going to help people overcome self-sabotage, get out of fight or flight mode, retrain their trauma brain, let go and release triggers, and support them in doing the same for others, everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. Can I get an amen? Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. And so if you are doing these things in 2024, you are visualizing what you want and imagining yourself 3 steps ahead. In the journal, you guys, right? If you do my journal every morning, there's a spot for visualization. I want you to imagine yourself doing the work you want to do. Prioritize and chunk it down to focus on one priority at a time. One priority. You'll get to them all. You will write your book and start your program and get to 10K a month, right? But focus on one thing at a time. And then 3 is set yourself up for accountability by joining a program and people that are holding you accountable, holding you to the fire, right? Taking action with you, helping to hold you accountable by asking how it's going. And then along the way, you become a professional asker because you know that what you're doing is adding massive value to the world. Gosh, so much can happen in a year, you guys. So much can happen in a year. You can get certified, start your business, coaching business, and start earning this year. You can start getting contracts for schools this year. You can start, getting 20 grand a launch this year. Like you can, it's possible. And so I think that if this is something you're interested in and you're not yet a part of the Dream Life Coaching Business Certification and Business Program, comment coach below, because we know here what it's like to spin our wheels and feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be doing this anymore and I don't really know how to get out of it. We can teach you. We give you exact step by step how to learn transformational content, coach clients and teach it, and build a business around it. And we do it with fellow coaches who are doing the same thing we are. And it includes a retreat. Like, hello, this is so much fun. Yeah. Amen. Chrissy says, I love your journal. Favorite part of my day. Same. I think that's Leisha. Awesome. I should have been showing these comments. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's true. It's happening. And I'm really, really excited because both of you guys have already said yes to the certification and business program. And just that shift of yes means that you've shifted on a cellular level. You have already, like the how is starting to show up because you've already made that commitment and that decision. So often we stay in wishy-washiness and we feel wishy-washy. And guess what? The world doesn't know what it needs to bring us because we're second guessing and we're double-minded and all these things. But once you make that decision and you're clear, you set that internal GPS, the how starts to show up. And so that's what you guys are starting to experience too. And as we go through 90-day U-turn, I know both of you are just starting 90-day U-turn, you'll see more and more and more that starts to happen for you. Leisha says, the more I journal, the more I think in depth. Yes. Because you know what you're doing when you're journaling? You are getting out of fight or flight mode, multitasking mode, and you're getting into your heart space where you can hear from your soul. You know, you hear God speak to who you hear. You are connecting with that spirit within, that still small voice. And when you kind of get out of monkey mind and hear from your heart, answers just start to come. It's stinking cool. It's amazing how this works every time. Awesome. Okay, so if you think about those 3 steps, visualize, prioritize, accountability, where do you feel like you need help the most? Or do you feel like, all right, I'm going to work on all 3? So give me an idea on if you feel like, all right, I'm going to work on all three, or if you need help in any area. And what I'll do is create a training around any area that you need help in. So if you're listening to the replay, put hashtag replay. If you're a part of the replay crew, we're glad that you're here as well. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'll go back through and look through these. So, but yeah, it's happening. And I think that you're going to be so proud of yourself in a year because of the work you have started today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. We connect in the Facebook group, Become a Dream Life Coach, each and every Monday night at 7 p.m. Be sure to join the group if you're listening on YouTube or on the podcast and you are not yet in the free group. Please join now. The link is in the description. And if you're in the group and you're interested in learning more about how you can get started as a Dream Life certification coach or Dream Life coach in the certification and business program, the comment coach below, and myself or one of the team will reach out to connect with you to schedule a strategy call to see if this is a great next fit for you on your business journey. All right, you guys, have an awesome day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next week. Bye.